Hi, hello everyone. My name is Rexford. I'm a postgraduate student studying cybersecurity and human factors, and I'm also the current president of the Ghanaian Student Society here in Bournemouth University. As the name stipulates, I'm from Ghana, naturally, and today I'm going to show you a simple dish we normally do back home with plantains, and it's something you can have as a meal on its own or as a side dish, and it's quite delicious, and I hope you enjoy it. Plantains are found in parts of Africa and in the Caribbean where you have tropical climate, and it's quite a bit of a staple for us all the time. And today I'm going to be very quick, short, simple video of how you can make plantains and get to know something that you can have or show to your friends that's from Africa or from Caribbean. So stay with me, and then I'll take you through the different stages of making spicy plantains. So ingredients wise, we need some plantains, some garlic, ginger, onions, salt, oil, and pepper. I have red chili peppers here, and then I have scotch bonnet at the back. And I do prefer to use scotch bonnet because that one's a bit much hotter, and I do prefer things to be a bit hot for myself. So these are the basic ingredients you need. Yeah, you don't need anything else. Your plantains, your spices, salt, and oil. If you move to the left side here, I've already gone ahead to chop the onions, the peppers, the garlic, and the ginger. And this is the plantains I'm going to use. So I'm going to move to the next stage of showing how to put all these together and start making your spicy plantains. So the next stage is preparing your plantains. So just making the base for your chili plantains. And the plantains here, usually what I do is just cut it right down the middle and just chop them up. So I start by taking this bit off, like that. But there's no trick to it, you can do it any style you want. Yeah. Then I just cut it down the middle, try to take the peel off. So just like that. I'll show you two ways of doing this actually. So this is one way of doing it. And then when it's out like this, you can just chop it right down the middle. Separate them up. Then you have two halves like that. And grab a bowl, whatever, and just chop them in. You choose the sizes you want. You can have them big, small, thin, but don't have them too thick because then it takes longer to cook. So have it be of like size of my finger or something like that. That works. So this is trick one. Cut them up. I like to slide them diagonally. Yeah, so this goes in there like that. Next one, same trick, diagonally. Because the only trick is because it cooks quicker, trust me. Because if you put big chunks in the oil, it takes longer to cook. And you do use too much oil, which is not quite healthy. The next time I'm going to show you, same thing, cut both ends off. And this time, instead of peeling the whole thing off, you just cut right down through the middle. Like that. Have the two halves. And then slice in the middle again, like that. Same thing over here. And this is just to reduce the sizes of it, yeah? Separate them, and then you just chop them up like that. I don't know if you can see it, but just like that. Okay. Yeah. One down. One to go. So just like this. Surprisingly enough, this meal back home you can only get it in the evenings. The reason, I have no idea, but you can't get this anytime before 5 or 6 p.m. So you normally get this after work or whatever. You get this, take home and have like an evening snack with it, or just have this as a meal. Your ingredients, chilies, onions, and everything goes to a blender. So I just have one here. I just pour everything inside there. So just wait for a bit so you see. chilies, garlic, and make sure you blend them into a smooth paste because we're going to transfer that into there. Yep, good. Bring this bad boy out. Oops. And goes in there. I don't want to disturb you guys with the sound of the blender, so I'm going to pause the video now and continue back when that one is already done. Okay, so this is done now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this mixture into the plantains direct. And at this moment, it depends. Others like it to sit and marinate for a while. Others just go ahead and just fry it. But you can pick and choose. Yeah. So just sprinkle that all over it. Yeah. And then stir it in, just like that. Just stir it all in. And if you can see that, yeah, so just stir it in. Trust me, this is amazing, honestly. You do get, because plantains are kind of sweet, and they get sweet when they go brown like that. When they go brown like this, they're sweet. Normally when they're harvested, they're green in color, just like bananas when they're not ripe yet. But with these ones, you can still eat them while they're green. But when they're green, they're not sweet. But when they do ripen like this one, they become very sweet. So this way you get a bit of the sweetness, you get a bit of the heat as well from the peppers. So yeah, it's kind of spicy, like the African Caribbean style, basically. So this goes in there. It's already done. Next thing will be to put our frying pan on and get the fire up, get the oil on, and yeah, get this bad boy on the road. But before that, we need to add salt. Remember to add salt. Well, if you're not a salt person, you can still put this way. But it's nicer when you add salt, honestly. So next thing will be salt. And at this point in time, I'm going to pause the video again, get the fire on, and get this show on the road. Okay, so we get into the final bit of our video here, and now we have our oil in the pan that's been going on for a couple of minutes, and it has to be a bit hot but not too hot. If it's too hot, it's really going to burn your plantain because they really cook very fast. So it has to be a bit hot but not too hot. Okay, and the easiest way to try that is to just dip a bit of that in there. Yeah. So we need to hear that sizzle, and then just turn down the heat a bit and just put that in. Yeah, that can cook for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, that should be fine. If you have a deep fryer, fine, you can just put it straight in there. But if not, you can still do it in the pan. Yeah. So, and just remember to keep turning it from time to time so it gets evenly cooked. Yeah. So let that simmer for a bit. And okay, so this is the color you want to see. When it starts going all brown like this, it means yeah, done. Yeah, so at this point in time, you should start taking them out of the fire. And because they are done at this point, any more time you have it in the fire, they would start getting burned. So you have to just lower the fire all the way down and just, as I always say, just harvest them gradually. You notice I put a bit of tissue paper here, and that is to take out the excess oil from the pan because you don't want it to be too oily or too soggy. So we just basically repeat the same process with the bits of the ones here. That's how we're just going to do it, same old way. Yep, so our second batch is on the fire now, cooking. And maybe a brief history about myself. I think I got into cooking very early because my mom had to work 2 jobs growing up. So at a very early age, I had to get used to the fact that she wasn't home a lot of times. So my brothers and I had to just quickly learn how to cook something for ourselves. So cooking stemmed more from a necessity than from an art. And over the years, I've grown to other areas where I've been like, okay, how can I do this? How can I make that? But what I do enjoy a lot is creating my own stuff. So I just like going to the kitchen and then figuring out what to make of whatever is there. So I'm not the person that will stick to a recipe and be like, oh, I don't have this, I can't make that, or I have to get this and that before I can do this and that. Just pop into the kitchen and whatever I have that day, I can turn something into it. So we had this going. I know I did say earlier on that you can have this as a side dish or you can have it as a main dish, but today I'm gonna have this as a side dish because I did make some rice as well and some gravy. So in the end, I'll present all of that and hopefully I might get thumbs up from you guys. But so far, if you have any questions or you have any queries or whatever, I don't know how you can reach me through this medium, but sure, you can Google my name on the student platform, Rexford, and yeah, I might pop up and then you can just send me any queries or emails about this dish and I'm more than happy to answer it. So there we have it. You can either have this as a snack, and most often than not, back home we have this with peanuts, roasted peanuts, or you can have it as a side. And here I have some rice, some sauce, some prawns, and then our plantains. So go ahead and make your pick. You can either have it with something else or just have it on its own as a snack. And I'm very sure you enjoy it. So yeah. All right. So that brings us to the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed your time with me as much as I enjoyed my time sharing my recipe with you guys. But go ahead and try it. Experiment with it. I urge you to try it because plantains are very versatile and they can just soak up any spice or any flavor you give it. So cinnamon, cardamom, any mun that you want to try with it would work. And yeah, share your feedback with me on how it goes. I know times are a bit tough now with all this lockdown and this pandemic going on, but I just want to assure you that we have each other. We have a great university with a great staff and a great team. And always reach out when you need any help. Yeah, reach out to friends, reach out to family, neighbors, anyone. Because we have each other and we need each other to get through this. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can now also show off to your friends that you know something Caribbean and something African that you can boast to them about. But one quick thing, plantains, usually you might find them like Turkish shops. Yeah, I think down on Charminster Road. Yeah, that's where I normally get these. There are some very good Turkish shops there that sells almost everything that you need to get for this recipe that I just made. So until we meet again, stay strong, be positive, be healthy, and be you. Bye.